Hey there guys, Reckoning here, and welcome back to Devil May Cry. Mission 10, let's do this. So, if I remember correctly, this is a relatively simple mission. We just have to navigate through the Canyon of Mist. The best way that you want to do this, and you pretty much have to do this, I guess, is you're going to want to defeat all the enemies and then interact with the stone tablet in the middle of the two paths. A light will then come off that. That's the glowing white spot at the base of the tablet. That'll come off, fly into any nearby enemies if you've left any of them standing, and once its path is unblocked, it will fly into one of the two paths. If you take that, you can progress further through the quote-unquote maze. If you take the wrong one, you end up back at the beginning of it. That's the basis for this whole area. There's there's three times you have to do this. And you're free to use whatever weapon combos you want. If you want to use Ifrit and the grenade gun, or Alistair and Ebony and Ivory, whichever. And this is basically just showing off that I left a marionette and a fetish behind. As it flies into the enemies, and then once they're dead, flies back out, and continues its path toward one of the pathways. But like I said, you can use any combination of weapons to do this, as is the course of pretty much the entire game, of course. So now, this area, see, we have what I believe are called sin sights, which, I guess if you hit them just right with the grenade, kills them in one shot. As I showed there. So now we can continue on. Now, I believe in this area there's going to be the lizard guys. And that is correct. So, I mentioned in the last episode that my finals, or, well, not my finals, but my midterms are coming up rather soon. Move that so it doesn't make noise. Looks like I just got the trophy for getting an S rank, S stylish rank with Ifrit, so that's nice. But my midterms are coming up, and as I said, I'm not worried about them, as they should be relatively easy. But you never know. From what I've seen of the study guides for them, none of them are going to be an issue. Physics is going to be relatively simple. English seems kind of dumb since we really haven't done much in there. Somehow. Psychology should be easy. Algebra's going to be a piece of cake. PC support's a joke. Drafting should be interesting, considering what we've been doing in there, and Spanish should be pretty easy. So really, I've got nothing to worry about with my exams. But I have a feeling one of them's going to throw me a curveball for whatever reason. So that's fun. On the bright side, I think I'm maintaining, like, my lowest grade, actually. I think that's only piece of support because the teacher is incompetent and decided not to grade an assignment, even though, or no, she graded it and then didn't put the grade in, so got a D in that class right now. So that's fantastic. Other than that, I've barely got a C in psychology. It's only like a few points away from a B. I think I'm 1 point. Last time I checked, I was 1 point away from a B in physics. And I think the rest are A's, actually. Or damn close to A's. So, I think I'm good. So those enemies we were fighting, I believe, are called Cyclops? I think that's what they're called. There's holy water. It's one of your usable items. Clears. I think what it does is it kills everything on screen and does decent damage to any bosses that might be on screen. And B rank, so that gives us a whole 350 more red orbs, which is nice. So like I said, that was a pretty simple mission. Fate, I remember doing this one. Here we have Kick 13, which is the move that I told you about in the last episode. We also got Meteor, that's nice. So we can throw fireballs while in Devil Trigger mode. And we can do that forward kick if we do the R1 and triangle and forward. Which could come in handy. I recall this being another boss level. So I'll leave it up to you to try to figure out which one it is. You'll find out eventually, but until then, you're just gonna have to wonder. Unless you know this game. I think the trophy's for getting information on 50%. I think that's for filling up half the enemy entries for the logbook. You can keep tabs on all the enemy types just from the start menu. Or the pause menu, really. And apparently, upon introduction to this Sin Scythe type enemy, we now have 50%. Unless it was really slow on the Cyclops. So as you can see, there's some glowing blue thing in there, which you'd probably guess is a blue orb fragment, and I believe that's exactly what it is. So obviously we need to pick that up, because we're going to need as much health as we can get. Also going to need to stock up on some red orbs. That's fun. But blue orbs are a main priority. So those are limited. Red orbs aren't. Well, they're limited to a certain point. I think all this does is takes you around the room to get all the floating red orbs that are a little more difficult to get. And allow you to get up onto those higher up areas if you don't want to jump all up top here. What is this? Devil Star. Very nice. Like a Vital Star, it replenishes 5 Devil Trigger gauges, which is pretty good. And more Elixir Palace. Glorious. Just glorious. But, I mean, I got Ifrit, I have fire. Can't stop me. I'm sure there's something else I can bring up in this episode. I can't think of anything really. And as you can see by this point, I have figured out how to do the uppercut. And it seems that I'm not exactly that fantastic with my combos. But I try. I try to mix up my fights with what I know. Because I got that fire kick, I got kick 13, I got magma drive. I try. If I had a whole bunch of skills on Alistair, I'd probably try it with that too. And that trophy's probably for completing my first blue orb. And oh no, that wasn't a blue orb actually. Unless that was something else I was looking at. Forgot that the Sign of Chastity was in here. So is that a blue orb on the other side, or is it not? It could be possible that thing that I thought was a blue orb forever actually was Sign of Chastity, and I didn't remember that. Which would be fun. Stop. Of course, if you get hit, then it just lowers it back down to below dull, and then you just feel sad. But your stylish rank doesn't affect your ranking. Well, it does affect your ranking, but it doesn't affect what kind of orb reward you get until, I want to say 2. And that was a blue orb fragment. I was right. I think in 2 they start factoring in your stylish rank to get you more orbs. Or that's just a separate ranking. I don't recall. Then again, it could literally... Probably what it does is, in this game, it factors into your stylish rank, which affects your Devil Hunter rank, obviously, which affects how many bonus orbs you get at the end of a mission. It's just in 2 and onward, they actually tell you what your stylish rank was. So you've got something to go by. That's probably how it works. That makes sense. Now to waste even more time, let's grab that one red orb that was sitting up there. Now we can go into this room. Alright. Cup on the base, protected by powerful light, prove yourself worthy with the sign. Should I use the Sign of Chastity? You use the Sign of Chastity. That lowers the light, gives you the chalice. And then the doors get blocked by rocks. Wonder what the boss here would be. Oh, it's Nello again. I want to say that this is very similar to the first time you fight him, as I don't believe he has any new moves. So if you were able to handle him the first time, you should be able to handle him now. Because I don't recall him having any new moves. Though he could, and I just didn't notice. So at the moment it doesn't exactly look like using Alistair is going to work out for me, as I'm almost dead and I've only done about a quarter of his health. Using Devil Trigger does regenerate health, but nowhere near fast enough. Though I was able to knock off another quarter of his health with that. And then I die. So it seems that I'm going to have to use a different strategy when fighting him. My only reason for using Alistair really is sword versus sword. So first pull out the handgun, because that makes it easier to fight things like Nello. Because you don't want to use grenades on things like Griffin. Because unless he stays in one spot, you're probably not going to hit him. So, handguns are better. Besides, if you're in Devil Trigger, then that boosts, you know, your gun damage. I don't think it does that for the grenades. Though it might, I just haven't noticed. Again, not... like, on my health front, not doing too good. But I could turn it around. Knock down here, there's a green orb there. It's hidden from you. In case you need it. Which you're going, if you're going for a no items run, I suppose would be pretty good. Because if you're not very good at fighting Nello, then you are going to take hits, and the green orb is probably just the thing you need. Deciding that I need to start turning the tide, I pull out Ifrit, and I think I start doing better. I think I mentioned this last time, but the way you get around his blocking is just, when he goes to block, dodge around him and hit him in the back, or the side. And then you can get some free hits in on. And also, it seems that if once you buy Kick 13, or this might actually be available from the start, but if you put in the button combo for Kick 13 while in Devil Trigger mode, Dante does a flurry of punches and kicks, which I believe I use in future fights, because it's a pretty good technique. That's all I was trying to do, though, was just get that one orb. Don't know why I went back to Alistair here. At least with Ifrit, I could spam the fire kick and eventually get past Nello's blocking. The jump attack does work pretty well. You can get him into a loop of doing that attack and other attacks that leave him open to an aerial attack. You can get him damaged that way. And that fire kick is useful for closing gaps. If he's a good distance away and about to throw a blue ball at you, probably a good idea to close that gap as soon as you can with a fire kick. That move probably does have a name, but the hell if I know what it is. And we finish it off with that combo. Flurry of attacks, really. And it seems that we have defeated Nello once again. But I wonder if he's ever going to come back. I mean, he just exploded into lightning, so I don't see how he could come back. But you never know with the Devil May Cry game. Never know. So we did pick up a chalice before we did that. And I do not recall what I'm trying to do here. Oh wait, I think I know. I think what I'm trying to do is wall jump up to the platform on top of all that. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. And now that chalice we just picked up, it's a gold statue of a knight. It looks like something was placed here. Should I use the chalice? The entire point of this mission was just to move the chalice from one spot to there. They were in pretty much the same room. But it makes you wonder, if that's in the same room, would Nello be skippable the second time around? Makes you wonder. Because if you could just run up there, put the chalice in, get through the door that I eventually find, and it is not that one, he might just be skippable. So here's where I've found out that it's not those two doors I'm looking for. I think that's where I found out I bumped my mic. This is where I found out I'm supposed to go through this door because I'm an idiot. And 1,000 orbs out of that. My god. D rank because I took 14 minutes. And I died. That probably has something to do with that too. So yeah, next time, Mission 12 and all that nonsense of this game. So until then, keep being awesome, and I'm gonna go play some more.